relationship?
This is one of my, we weren't in the relationship, but this is probably one of my favorite crazy Kayla stories because I don't have that many. But I'm a Scorpio and I have that crazy in me though. You know what I mean? Like it's back there. So I was dating a guy.
Okay.
I was dating a guy and he dumped me through a text message. And he dumped me for this singer/actress who was famous at the time. Dumped me for her. Lied about it for months, then popped out with her. It became like this public thing and it was like, oh my God, we love them. Another like celebrity iconic relationship. And of course, little old me, I'm devastated, I'm heartbroken. I had just moved to New York to like be with this person and move in with them. It was a whole thing.
It's not who y'all think.
Yes, you guys will not be able to figure this out. Or maybe they will, who cares, it doesn't matter. So he breaks up with me, dumps me, moves on. And for Halloween that year, I dressed up as her. I dressed up as that lady for Halloween. And not only
Are the pictures out?
They're there somewhere. They're on the internet. And it went viral.
Clock that.
It went viral. It was everywhere.
Really?
Like, and that was before like I was even anything on Instagram, which is why it was even funnier because everybody's like, oh my God, you look so good.
Did he say something?
Yeah, you called me crazy. Like you're
Kayla Nicole is seriously going to regret the day she decided to say Teyana Taylor's name out loud in public. Just seconds ago, the internet was lifting Kayla up like she was the next big it girl, glowing, trending, winning. Now, people are side-eyeing her like she fell off overnight and the vibe has completely shifted. When Teyana checks somebody in public, it is not random, it is a warning shot, and everybody knows it. And now Kayla is the one getting that energy. After Kayla went public and said she slept with Iman, people started talking heavy. Then Travis Kelce moved on, stepped out with Taylor Swift, and suddenly the Swifties were in full defense mode over that so-called PR romance.
I'm sorry, but if my man's old girlfriend went through the trouble of dressing like me for Halloween, the smile that would be produced on my face, you would cast me for Joker 3. I'd be smiling for days. For days. I'm a Scorpio sun, also a Leo moon. The smile, oh my God, like you just made my year.
A lot of folks felt bad for Kayla at first, and to be fair, she did have people rooting for her. I will give her that before I really get into it. The way the Swifties came at her, you would think she was the only woman Travis ever dated, like he did not have a whole dating history before Taylor entered the chat. Some fans acted like Kayla was the villain just for existing. Still, plenty of people backed Kayla up, because dealing with an army of online attackers all day has to be exhausting. But now Kayla just showed a whole different side, and it is giving straight mean girl energy, messy and loud. Let me break this down real clear. Kayla pulled up to a podcast called Unapologetically Angel, hosted by Angel Reese. During the show, Angel asked her what was the wildest thing she ever did in a relationship. Simple question, right? Now listen, Kayla could have played it cool, she could have kept it cute, classy, and harmless. She could have shared a light story, made something up, or even talked about her time with Travis, and nobody would have thought twice about it. The internet would have nodded and moved on like nothing happened. But no, she decided to swing the door wide open and invite chaos in herself. Instead of keeping it basic, she started talking about a relationship from way before Travis, and at first people thought she was just sharing her own little experience. That was not the case. Kayla is not new to this online game. She knows exactly how fast blogs move and how one sentence can spark a wildfire. She knew people would start connecting dots the second she spoke, and she still went there. It felt petty, calculated, and extra.
I got a question because I feel like a lot of us are being willfully obtuse right now, and I'm not sure why. Maybe because we put on our helmet of salvation for Kayla Nicole in the past and we're trying to keep it on, but I just really need to know. Is there a certain time period that needs to go by where you get a pass for being a side chick or in a situationship with somebody's husband? Like, how much time has to go by for that not to be a big deal and for you to be able to talk in public about it as if it's no big deal, or just casually about it, or I don't know, not take it to the grave? How much time needs to go by for that? I need to know, because is it like 10 years, 15 years, and then you can get on podcasts and talk about you were side chicks to married men? Is that okay? And would it be okay if it was your husband and 10 years went by? Would that be okay? And then after that, instead of trying to just like leaving the situation gracefully, you dressed up as that person for Halloween. Is that okay? Now, the dressing up as you know, your side dude or I don't know, secret lover's girl is weird, and that alone, I get why you would bring it up as like the craziest thing you ever done. Like, I'm not saying I can get that a little bit, but knowing that this person was married at the time, I don't know. I just would have took that to the grave personally. But it seems like there's a certain time period that like those type of things can be spoken about for any reason. I just want to know what it is. You guys let me know how long. 10, 15, 20 years. You guys let me know.
She even said nobody would guess who she meant. But the second she admitted she dressed up as the man's girlfriend for Halloween, that was it. The internet clocked it instantly, and the guessing game was over. Of course, the internet did what it always does. It grabbed a shovel and started digging deep. People went straight into the archives and pulled up photos from almost 10 years ago. The second those old pictures resurfaced, nobody needed a detective to figure out who Kayla was copying. It was loud and clear. It looked like she was trying to prove something, like she wanted Iman Shumpert to see she could match Teyana's vibe and look just as good. And let us be real, Teyana's body is next level, everybody knows that. But here is the truth. If a man is known for stepping out, it does not matter if your body looks sculpted to perfection. That is not going to change his character. A cheater is going to cheat. Simple as that. Now, Iman and Kayla were never publicly official like that. And if anything did happen back then, the timeline makes it messy. Iman and Teyana had already been publicly together since 2013. The photo Kayla posted was from 2016, which means Iman and Teyana were already solid for years by that point. So if Kayla was involved, the internet quickly labeled her as the side piece in that situation. Maybe she did not know the full story back then. Maybe she thought it was something real. But if he walked away from her, that might have been protection in disguise. Once those old photos started trending again, the narrative shifted fast and people began questioning everything about that whole timeline. Now here is where it really gets wild. Teyana was not about to sit back and let her name get dragged into messy internet games. The second people started tagging her and connecting the dots, the energy shifted fast. And when Teyana speaks, it is never random. It is direct and calculated. Folks were waiting to see if she would clap back, and she did not have to say much. A few subtle moves, a little shade here and there, and the message was clear. She was not entertaining drama, but she was not ignoring it either. That kind of quiet confidence hits harder than a full-blown rant. Everybody could feel it. Meanwhile, Kayla was trending for all the wrong reasons. What was supposed to be a fun podcast moment turned into a full timeline investigation. Blogs picked it up, social media ran with it, and now people are replaying old interviews, old photos, old everything.
Personally, I don't think Teyana Taylor even needed to do this. Because if she went through the trouble of dressing up like you for Halloween, she's already a fan. Like, she's already aware of your work. She's already aware of all the things that you're doing. We don't need to know, because we know who you've been. We know, and you can announce things that you're excited about. Her, love that for you, get that check, get that post-divorce money, but you don't have anything to prove. And the bragging rights of her to be talking about Iman, because I was thinking that this is some maybe businessman, someone else that we don't know. Iman, the stingy Iman, the one that's begging Teyana Taylor for money that couldn't handle her fame and success and her talent. That's the one that we're supposed to be up. That's the one you're upset about. That's the one you're pressed about. Honey, you can keep him. Like, surely this is one of those guys that you never want to admit that you ever dated because of how they're acting. Like, real. I get why Teyana Taylor responded. Like, she's tired of people moving mad when she moves with decorum. Totally hear that. But honey, Kayla is a fan. And as a Nigerian woman, I would never, ever let her live it down. I'm obsessed. It's giving Mariah Carey like, oh, you're so obsessed with me. Wow, you really ordered all of those pieces. It's giving Amazon, like it's giving polyester. Like, you could not have waterboarded that information out of me. Waterboarded that information out of me.
That is the risk you take when you drop hints and think nobody will decode them. At the end of the day, this whole situation shows how fast the spotlight can flip. 1 minute you are getting sympathy and support. The next minute you are getting questioned from every angle. And once certain names get involved, especially names with loyal fans behind them, the internet does not play fair at all. Ayana actually responded, And she did it in her own slick way. She threw up a photo on her story packed with emojis, low-key making the whole situation look silly without even typing a full paragraph. The vibe was clear. She was not pressed. Right after that, she posted about a major project lined up for 2025. And listen, she looked booked, busy, and fully in her bag. That move alone felt like a statement, like she was reminding everybody she is still that girl, still that famous, still moving different. Now, usually, Teyana pays drama dust. When the Amber and Iman rumors started flying before, she barely said a word. Her circle handled it, and she stayed cool. She is known for moving with grace and not feeding the chaos. But there comes a point where enough is enough, and you step out just a little to remind people not to play with your name. And that is exactly what she did this time. She slid into the Shade Room comments with a long message that had everybody screenshotting fast. She said, "It's really crazy that everyone is allowed to bother me and be distasteful. Everybody gets to play while I move with grace always. But now I want to have a little Sagittarius fun too. And it's a problem." That right there was calm, classy, but still a warning shot. And once that comment hit the Shade Room, it was game over. The screenshots started flying. Blogs reposted it in seconds, and the timeline went crazy. People were split right down the middle. Some were cheering Teyana on, saying she finally spoke up and kept it classy. Others were side-eyeing Kayla like, why even bring this up in the first place? What really made it loud was that Teyana did not curse, did not rant, did not lose control. She kept it polished, but you could feel the heat in her words. That Sagittarius line had everybody talking. When she said she wanted to have a little fun too, it sounded playful, but also like a reminder that she can step in the ring if she wants to. And that kind of calm confidence hits different. Meanwhile, Kayla stayed quiet after the backlash started building. No long explanations, no follow-up clips, nothing. And sometimes silence makes things even louder. The internet filled in the blanks on its own, and once people start creating their own story, it spreads fast. Now, the big question floating around is simple. Was this just a messy podcast moment that went too far, or was it a calculated move for attention? Either way, once Teyana stepped in and stamped her presence, the tone of the whole situation shifted instantly. Teyana did not hold back either. She cleared it up real quick. She made it known she is divorced and happy about it, so nobody needs to twist that part. But she said the wording used was tasteful on the surface, yet still uncalled for. In her eyes, Kayla knew exactly what she was doing when she told that story. She even pointed out that Kayla admitted she was famous at the time and said she did not care who saw it. Teyana basically said that once those details were dropped, people were going to search and her name would automatically get tied to the mess. She explained she did not even have to be tagged. A simple search had her name trending without her saying one word. That is how she found out about it, just like everybody else online. And she threw a little laugh in there too, like the math was not adding up and the facts were not lining up either. To her, the whole thing felt cringe and petty. Then she brought up something that really made people pause. She said Kayla once pulled the black card when it came to Taylor Swift, but then turned around and tried to shade a black woman who was actually married to the man in question. That part had social media buzzing heavy. She even said she had shown love under Kayla's Halloween photo back then, not knowing there was any hidden shade behind it. She claimed she supported it like she does thousands of other posts. And the way she wrapped it up was bold. She basically said she put her petty panties on for a second, said what she needed to say, had her little fun, and now she is back to work. That statement was loud, confident, and final. Kayla probably did not expect Teyana to step out like that, but she definitely did respond. After that statement, the whole vibe online shifted again. People were no longer guessing, they were picking sides. Some said Teyana handled it like a boss, calm but sharp. Others felt like the whole situation should have never been brought up in the first place. Either way, the attention was locked in and nobody was scrolling past this drama. Fans started replaying old clips, reposting the Halloween photo, and breaking down timelines like detectives on a mission. Every detail got examined. Who said what? Who liked what? Who posted first? It all mattered now. And the more people talked, the bigger it got. What made this even louder was the fact that Teyana kept it direct but still controlled. She did not spiral. She did not drag it out for days. She stepped in, addressed it, and made it clear she is not the one to test. That kind of energy earns respect online, especially when the internet is waiting for someone to crash out. Meanwhile, Kayla's name kept circulating in headlines, and the narrative was no longer in her hands. Once the audience starts forming opinions, it moves fast. This turned from a casual podcast story into a full-blown viral moment. And now everybody is watching to see if this is truly over, or if round 2 is loading up behind the scenes. Kayla finally spoke up and said, "I will continue to speak on my life experiences when I see fit with zero shame because it's my story to tell. But if it helps one woman avoid the tough lessons that I've learned, my obstacles will not have been in vain."
Craziest thing you've done in a relationship? This is one of my, we weren't in the relationship, but this is probably one of my favorite crazy Kayla stories because I don't have that many. But I'm a Scorpio and I have that crazy in me though. You know what I mean? Like it's back there. So I was dating a guy. Okay. I was dating a guy and he dumped me through a text message. And he dumped me for this singer / actress who was famous at the time. Dumped me for her. Lied about it for months, then popped out with her. It became like this public thing, and it was like, oh my God, we love them. Another like celebrity iconic relationship.
That was her stance, loud and clear. She basically said nobody is going to silence her about her own life. But the internet was not feeling that response the way she probably expected. People started calling her out heavy. Some were straight up saying this was not a power move, and that it did not land the way she thought it would. The backlash came quick. Then folks brought up the part that really rubbed them wrong. They said, imagine dealing with a man who ends things over a text message and then dressing up as his girlfriend for Halloween after that. To a lot of people, that felt off. Words like jealous and bitter started flying around, and supporters who were still on the fence began stepping back. Comments flooded in. One person wrote, "I'm with Teyana. It's nothing worse than being nice to someone and find out they were actually being shady. All well." Another said, "I liked her better when she was seen and not heard. Why does she want to be known as the chick who keeps getting dumped for real celebrities?" Those reactions were harsh, but they showed just how divided the audience is right now. At this point, the situation is bigger than a podcast clip. It is about reputation. The internet has a short memory sometimes, but when something sticks, it sticks hard. And right now, this drama is glued to both of their names. Some people are saying Kayla should have read the room and kept certain stories offline. Not every experience needs a microphone, especially when other names can get pulled in without warning. Others feel like she has every right to tell her truth, no matter who feels uncomfortable about it. That is the split. Teyana, on the other hand, looks like she is moving on already. Back to work, back to projects, back to her glow. That calm exit after dropping a firm statement made her look unbothered and in control. And perception online means everything. The real lesson in all this is how fast a narrative can flip. One minute you are getting sympathy, the next minute you are fighting off criticism from every angle. Fame and social media do not mix well when old stories resurface and timelines start overlapping. Now everybody is watching to see who says something next, or if both sides let it die down. But one thing is clear, once you say a name with history attached to it, you better be ready for everything that comes with it. Oof, this whole situation took a sharp turn. When Kayla and Travis first split, a lot of people were saying Travis fumbled her, like he lost a real one. But now, some folks are looking at this mess and saying, maybe he actually dodged a bullet. The truth is, we never really know what goes down behind closed doors when the cameras are off and the posts stop. From the outside looking in, things are not always what they seem. From how this played out, some people feel like Kayla moved a little reckless. Others think she was just speaking her truth and got dragged for it. Maybe she went too far, maybe she did not. That is up for debate. If you think Kayla was right, or if you are riding with Teyana, drop your thoughts in the comments and let it be known. The Iman video we talked about will be popping up on the screen, so make sure you check that out too. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and tap in for more. I will catch you on the next one.